Hi. Hi, welcome. Welcome, Circle of Light. It's Mary Amy, and I'm coming to you live from New York. And it is Wednesday, August 3rd, and I'm here living in the light. And I'm all about cracking open that beautiful glowing light in your heart and guiding you to your fullest potential. Today, I feel blessed. Let's all acknowledge and let's have gratitude and be grateful and be blessed that we have today in this moment, that we're here and we're breathing and we're on New Earth Gaia. And it's the summer months. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to spend time in nature, to get outside. It's very valuable to spend time in the sun. We must spend time in the sun because sun will help activate our DNA and our light codes, and we'll raise to a higher vibration. There's some solar flares that are hitting the earth lately, a lot of them. And we're supposed to have the great solar flash coming. So 1 second flat, we'll have the great solar flash and more light will come onto the earth, and anything that has not been awakened will become awakened, and all light will cover the earth and darkness will leave, because we are in a spiritual war. It's good versus evil. So today on our show, we have topics like personal power. Let's get all our personal power going on. The beautiful organic characteristics that we were born with that make you authentic. Let's accept those. Let's accept ourselves. If you have a dream, a wish, a desire, let's fulfill those. Let's accept ourselves. And then we're going to cover miracles. Miracles exist. There's divine energies out there. And what are trauma imprints? Of course, I'm going to be doing a visualization, and I'm going to be sharing the healing properties of this gemstone. So again, let's go back to this. We should be grateful. We should be so grateful for today. And this is how we move from lower vibrational energies and emotions, which are sadness, anger, fear, hurt, pain. And let's cover that quick. Sadness. How do you get out of sadness? Well, stop doing whatever you're doing to remain in it. It's an emotion. Why do you have the sadness? Acknowledge and identify why you have the sadness. Why are you feeling sad? Is it a chemical thing in your body? Do you just have that? Are you not spending enough time outside in nature? If you spend too much time cooped up in nature, inside, and you don't spend time in nature, you're not awakening yourself. You're going to slow everything down. It's going to make you more dull. Spend time outside, at least 5 to 15 minutes, plus, as much time as you can. Sadness. If you have anger, why are you having anger? What's making you angry? It's a symptom of something else. Is something been brought into your life that's caused you anger? Is it chronic, or is it just because you're upset? It's okay to be angry. It's when we spend long periods of time with low vibrational emotions. We want to go to, if you choose to, we want to go to happiness, and we want to go to unconditional love, and we want to accept ourselves, and we want to have compassion for others. As soon as we accept ourselves and we really fully say, okay, this I'm responsible for, this, all the good, but then all the stuff that maybe we have shame over, or something that has been like looping around in your mind, or you stuffed it somewhere. Let's address everything as we go through all of our issues and our traumas. And I know it's not easy. I'm not saying it is. I've done it, and it takes time. It's a process. I'm sharing with you as we ascend. It's something we must do, and all of us will be ascending to a higher frequency, because this 3D matrix that we've been living on, this linear world, these systems are going to go away. We're not going to have the systems anymore. We've been programmed. It's been mind control. We've been brainwashed. into these systems that's the only choice. There's other choices. There's 1,000 responses to any question. There's 1,000,000 responses. We've been living in a mind control reality. Let's expand our consciousness, expand our minds, and know that those are mind control through psychological techniques. So let's get out of that one possibility way of thinking. And I say, our decision making is entirely up to us. We are sacred beings of light. We have boundaries. We have self-love, right? We're going to take our personal power back. We have self-love going on by setting up an invisible line that we imagine around us, which is not allowing anyone to cross the line into our space mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, unless we give permission. Because we are sacred beings. We are sovereign. We have free will. We have freedom. We can make that choice. One of the laws of nature, you cannot take someone's personal power away. They have to give it to you. It's a decision that you're making on some level within you, whether you realize it or not. You say, oh, I had to do it. Unless you're a 5-year-old child, no, you did not. The alternative is better. If you have a gut feeling that this is not a good idea for you, then you don't do it. We're working on our intuition. We spoke about that yesterday. So our personal power is a gift that we were given at birth. We were born with. We have personal power. And I'm not saying that we can't be forced to do things, but that's physically forced, you're saying. We're physically forced to do things, yes. But other than physically being forced, you have your own decision-making right. You're allowed to make your own decisions. And that's where personal power lies. So we are loving ourselves. We are protecting ourselves. We're sacred beings of light. We have self-worth. Are you worthy? You're worthy right now. You're worthy as a being without identifying any stuff, any material stuff, any your image. That's all ego based. Your image, your stuff. Who are you if you took everything away? If you close your eyes and you're just this being, you have nothing. You have zero. Who is this individual? Who is this being? What makes you up? Are you special and wonderful without all the stuff? Because that's not you. That's out here. We're talking about just you. Let's get our personal power, which is accepting ourselves, forgiving ourselves, acknowledging our talents and attributes that are wonderful, because we are wonderful. I'm accepting you just as you are, your successes and your achievements within yourself. Let's consider, are we doing all of our passions? Are we fulfilling our purpose? As you ascend and as you accept more light and love into your heart, and you have more love in your heart, more unconditional love, you will find that you might be wanting to change and alter some of your decisions in your careers, or where you live, or what you eat, or just your personality will change. More of you will become evident. And it's a good thing. And it's very freeing. And it's unknown. It's an adventure. We don't know how it's going to play out, but we have to have trust. We have to trust ourselves. If we make a decision today, every decision that we make matters. But if we make a decision or we decide something today, it will manifest in 2 weeks, okay? In some form. Because thoughts are very powerful and they're a vibration. And that's why I say when you're manifesting, you must feel joy when you know whatever it is that you want. You must have the emotion of joy attached to it, or you cannot manifest it. So whatever I'm saying today will become evident physically in 2 weeks. Now, if I turn around and then reject whatever I said, then of course it's squashed. Or if you say, oh, I'll give you an example. Let's say you say, oh, I want a large boat. And then you laugh at yourself, or you share it to someone, with someone, and then they laugh at you. It's over. It's done right there. That's why we don't share our desires and our dreams with others until we've reached some kind of physical existence with it. Okay, so our personal power is very important because we cannot achieve whatever it is that we want unless we have our own personal power. And that is coming through, maybe it's physical. You physically feel more vital if you're exercising, if you're eating right, and that's part of your personal power. Because this is a vessel, yes, but we must take care of it. And our mind and spirit is living in this vessel right here, in this reality, in this realm. So we must take care of it. So let's be sure that we include with our personal power our willingness to take care of our vessel. And that means if something is harming you to do, maybe don't do it anymore. If it's physically harming you, if it's affecting your organs, if it's affecting your mind and your spirit, try to stop doing it. It's not good for you. So our personal power is our self-worth, our love for ourselves, our acceptance for ourselves, our passions, our mission. And I'm not saying that there isn't existence of anomalies in the world. In the world, there's what's called anomalous phenomenon. It's an observed event which deviates from what's expected. So let's say we set things in motion and you may have a plan and you have a dream or a desire and you're manifesting it. I'm not saying that it can't be taken off the track by phenomenon. Okay? It affects us. And I'll give you an example. So there was, I would say, an anomaly that happened to me. It was real life phenomenon when I've been explaining to you how it's so important for us to write down our dreams. And I take my dreams pretty seriously because they are premonitions to me. They guide me. And I know that it's a way of releasing. It's a way of bringing in other energies. And sometimes it's those that have passed. It's a very positive, my dreams. Well, over the weekend, I had what's called a psychic attack, which I consider an anomaly. It was out of the ordinary for my energy patterns. And this psychic attack happened while I was sleeping. And I'm very vulnerable when I'm sleeping, obviously, like we all are. And because I take my dreams to heart, and they're very meaningful to me, I took these particular instances while I was sleeping the same way. However, it wasn't my energies. It wasn't my mind, body, spirit. It wasn't me. It came from an outside force. Now, I've heard of this as we ascend and we are headed into the 5D, which is the fifth dimension, which is all about heaven on earth, unconditional love, the beauty of the new Gaia, the planet. I had psychic attacks. So what happened to me, I'll tell you. I had a couple of visuals, which were downloads, and they were all, 2 of them were dark, 1 of them wasn't, so it confused me. And one of them had a being called Mr. Smith, a black hat, I guess you could say. So Mr. Smith has visited me before. He's visited me in a dream before, and I knew, and I think he's come before other times. So those were psychic attacks. So what I'm trying to say is be aware that even when we're sleeping, stuff can happen. Stuff can come into our mind, into our space without permission. So this is an anomaly. And Mr. Smith, we all know who Mr. Smith is. It's from that film, The Matrix. And I say we're living in a matrix. It's a simulation. Whether it's a globe Earth, a flat Earth, a round Earth, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. Here we are in this reality. My perception is this reality. Mr. Smith is known in the movie The Matrix, and I believe he's a clone, and clones exist. And they're not organic beings, and they eliminate threats to the system. So they're an agent of the system. And if you are ascending and you are bringing light onto this earth, and you are collectively with others in a higher realm, a higher frequency, a higher consciousness, because we're thinking above this 3D world, you will get psychic attacks. So this being, first I saw one thing that broke my heart. And then this being I saw all dressed in black, and you can sense the evil, so be aware, was getting into this car with no side, no doors, no roof. Like it was open, getting into this vehicle, and I could feel it, and it kind of scared me. And it shook me, actually. It shook me. And it was planted in my mind then, and it was very, very dark. And it took me till last night to kind of figure it out. So I was shook up, and I was still trying to deal with things, but I felt like this dark energy. Now, one other time this happened to me where I was here, and this being came into my home and into my bedroom. And it's not even that they're doing anything, this Mr. Smith, this black hat. It's just the energy that they're bringing in. So just be aware of psychic attacks as we are ascending and as we are finding our truest self, our truest version of ourselves. We will have what's called psychic attacks. There's evil on this earth, this Gaia, right now, and we were revealing it. The matrix that we've been living in, this 3D matrix of these systems, this programming, the health, the government, the education, and even the religion, are all mind control. So let's think beyond that. Like I said, let's believe and see ourselves as just beings, nothing out here, just who we are if we close our eyes, this being. Let's release our ego. Let's not be attached to our ego anymore. And let's go to love. Okay, so here we are. We have our personal power now. We're moving forward. And I'm just here to make suggestions because I am hoping and imagining that we all move together into this circle of light that covers the earth. And let me remind you to see a sunrise. A sunrise, I always say, I look through this rectangle and I see light on the horizon. Good things are coming. A difficult situation will improve beyond our sight. And you are able to experience this. Let's spark a spiritual awakening. Let's know that we can bring light into our lives and into our hearts through spending time in nature, through visualization, through meditation, through stillness. We spoke of stillness. I shared with you, oh, hear that bird? The bird's agreeing with me. I love it. Oh, I think that's a cardinal. I shared with you ways to build on your intuitive abilities, because I'm an intuitive and an empath. And I shared with you yesterday, how does it start with stillness? So you turn off all your electronics, you go into a quiet space, you close your eyes, you breathe, you check your body, you scan your body for tension. And then what you do is, when you feel the stillness and the quiet within your being, if you have any thoughts, ask them to leave. And you want to hear beyond the walls of the room, as far as you can imagine, just as far as your ears will take you, because you're working on your senses, your sixth sense. You will find, as you ascend and as you awaken, and you live in unconditional love and light, and you forgive yourselves and you accept others, you will find that your senses will become more alert. You'll become more aware, and your senses, for me, I have certain intuitive abilities, clairvoyant abilities, clairsenses, and yours might be even more spectacular or extraordinary than anything I can imagine. Maybe you'll turn into somebody that you have an object in your hand and you can sense things about the person or know where they are. Maybe you'll become very equipped at hearing beyond this realm to another. Maybe angelic beings will come into your life. You might become a medium, and those who have passed come to you. And I know this sounds far-fetched, but as we ascend, we will gain telepathic abilities. So we won't be using our mouths to speak as much as we will our minds. When we expand and have awareness in our minds, we are making room. Now, this was all here. We had this when we were born, but we were pushed right into these systems of mind control that prevented us from becoming the truest version of ourselves. Now, miracles. What is a miracle? Well, we all have heard the story of Joan. And Joan was a prophet. She was a peasant girl, and she ended up becoming a warrior and leading the king through battles. So a miracle is an extraordinary event not understood or explained by natural or scientific laws, and it's attributed to a supernatural being, God, an angel, a saint, or a spiritual being. So in her particular case, initially, Joan was visited by angels who shared messages, and they proclaimed her future. Now, Joan was a prophet. Joan knew that there was divine energies, and she had a very close connection, a spiritual connection with God, higher power. And she listened and she followed what visions she had, these visions that came to her. And that is a miracle. Now, can we have miracles in our lives? Of course we can. We can all have miracles. Now, miracles come in many forms. Maybe a miracle will be that something that you prayed for, something that you wished for came true, or some impossibility, some extraordinary event happened. You can bring angels into your life. I always speak of angels. You can bring angels into your life, which are divine energies. They're non-gender, they're immortal, they're beings of light. They come from the heavens to earth. And we are all born and we have guardian angels assigned to us. And they say those that have had near-death experiences, NDEs, have said that they are greeted by angels, and the angels take them, or they relay messages to them upon death. And then we know this because near-death experiences, they lived. Now, I know that at an early age, I had angels visit me because I have a close connection, bond with angels, and I proclaim angels and I speak of angels because I see them in my third eye, and I've been visited in my dreams. You might have a dream with an angel, and it is extraordinary, and you feel full of, I guess, your real self and peace and calmness. So I suggest that we all ask for miracles in our life. Maybe a miracle comes in the form of you uh, were saved during an accident or some traumatic event, and a miracle saved you from dying in this realm. I'm suggesting that you ask for angels to come into your life. I believe I have an archangel right here, Michael. Hi, whoever's joining me, right in the chat. We're just speaking of miracles and how they're an extraordinary event, not understood or explained by natural scientific laws. And I mentioned how Joan of Arc had miracles, and she had visions, and angels visited her and shared with her premonition events that were to occur, and she followed. And we can have miracles. Hi, Tommy, how are you? Good morning. How's it going today? Is it hot out there? Thanks for joining me. Blow kisses to you. And so we can have miracles that enter our lives and happen to us, and they are attributed to a supernatural event, a being, an angel, or spiritual being. So, okay, let's move on right now to trauma imprints. And exactly what is a trauma imprint? So, an imprint is any kind of impression or influence in psychology. And so it's a remarkable phenomenon. And the reason I'm bringing up trauma imprints is because whether we realize it or not, when we have traumatic events happen to us, and we might be a small child, we might be an adult, a young adult, it is stored within us. So if we're traumatized, meaning that we have some kind of emotional response, and this event could be when you're a child, it could be simply that someone who is very much a symbol to you of leadership and power came down hard on you, either verbally or physically, and that's considered a traumatic event. And when we have these traumatic events, what happens to them? So if you're in a position of weakness, where are you going to put this traumatic event? You're going to store it in your body. So it's going to be emotionally imprinted in you. And then what happens is, if it happens again and again and again, it creates an energy pattern. And now you have this energy pattern of traumatic events or issues. And you wonder as you get to be an adult, why is this here and I can't get rid of it? It's because you're imprinted with it. It's now taken on a form inside of you. And so what we want to do is we want to release that traumatic event. And how do we release that traumatic event? Well, first we have to identify it. We have to know it exists, and we have to acknowledge it. And how do we acknowledge it? When we overreact to something, and we have some kind of either like a heightened reaction, maybe it's anger, maybe it's something, we know that we have been traumatized by this, or it's a recurring situation. So it's like a pool of emotion within us. We want to release that pool of emotion. Now, how? You're going to have to alter yourself. Sorry, you're going to have to accept that you do this, and you're going to have to alter yourself, and you're going to have to alter your energetic pattern. In other words, you're going to have more self-control, and you're going to have more discipline and be aware of it. And then eventually it's going to go away. But initially, We want to be aware of whatever we're imprinted with traumatically. Now, I'll be truthful, I have imprinted abandonment. So what does that mean? So when abandonment issues rise up, so to me, is it mental? Am I thinking about it? No. These are reactions that you're having because you're traumatized and you're imprinted. So abandonment issues for me might come in the form of, let's say I have a friend and then all of a sudden we're going along and everything seems fabulous. This friend disappears. So if I acknowledge it and I realize it, it's important to me, this relationship, I will feel abandonment. Now I'm working on this. You might have a different issue. Maybe it's something else that was imprinted on you. So let's just be aware. None of us are perfect. We're all imperfect beings on this planet Earth, this new Earth Gaia, but let's accept ourselves. So I'm accepting you for whatever is your traumatic imprint, and you accept me because we are forming this beautiful circle of light. And when we accept ourselves and we have love for ourselves, we eventually can have compassion and kindness and love for others. We will want to be more patient. Like I say, what is my affirmation? My affirmation, you can have your own affirmation. My affirmation is I am patient because I am working on patience. Whatever it is for you, you decide I am, and you just say whatever it is that you want to instill inside of you. And we say our mantra, which is sometimes everything I'm saying to you brings fear up. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to go there. No, I'm just going to forget about it. Guess what? It's still inside of you. It's not going anywhere. It will come back until you deal with it. So I say, if it's tough for you and you have fear for some of these things, or you don't want to deal with, just say, I am brave, I'm courageous, I'm strong. And you are. You are much stronger than you realize. You can overcome anything that you want because thoughts are powerful. You can lead yourself to your destiny. Starts with today. In this moment, let's in this moment do whatever it is that we need to reach our destiny, our purpose, our passions. I say 5 humongous goals. What are your 5 humongous goals? That's entirely up to you. Make them huge and then let's check them off. Because when you have and make a list of 5 humongous goals, what will happen? Synchronicity will land in your lap. Okay? And what does that mean? Strange, mysterious occurrences will happen when you identify and you state your 5 humongous goals. And make them something that you've always wanted to do. Put them on your list. And what will happen is synchronicity will happen, and before you know it, all of the information that you need to accomplish your 5 humongous goals will come to you. I never thought that I would be able to do this, sit here and speak like this. I was pretty much a shy person, but I worked at it, and then I made this one of my goals. So I guess this is a checklist off for one of my 5 humongous goals. Now, should we talk beyond this into personal growth and personal development? We'll save that for another day. Because I've spoken enough about this. Now, maybe we want to do a visualization right now. So let's see. And yeah, we'll do a visualization right now. So let's do mental guided imagery. Hold on, I'm coming. I only have so much room and there's no assistant. It's just me. Okay, so let's do relaxation, visualization, and we will create vivid mental images in the mind's eye, bringing you hope, joy, and happiness. Blessings. Our intention today is to clear away negative thoughts through glowing light. Let's realize connecting your mind, body, spirit to divine light will shed darkness in yourself and unblock your truest potentials. Your glowing light visualization begins now. Let's close our eyes and let's find a quiet space, sit or lay down comfortably, and let's breathe out and let go of any old thoughts before this moment. And let's accept whatever's coming towards us. Okay, so we're going to breathe out old energy and thoughts, and we're going to deeply breathe and inhale and exhale 3 times together. And we're going to do it in 3 times and 12 counts. So let's do that. Okay, let's scan our body for tension, and let's release any kind of negativity or darkness that we have that's within our being. And we're going to scan our body from the top of our head, our crown chakra, to the tip of our toes. So let's bring awareness to our thoughts. And I'd like you to imagine being inside your brain. So I'd like you to quiet your mind and have stillness that we've spoken of. Now, as you have stillness, what thoughts do you select? What do you automatically think about in your brain? And are these thoughts useful to you? Are they positive? Are they negative thoughts? And do your thoughts circle back to the same thoughts? Because our thoughts create our future, our personality, and our destiny. So let's begin to clear away any negativity, and let's have pure spirit within our mind, our heart, our being. So let's try to open up more space in our brain. Let's release any thoughts that we have no use for, that are preventing us from our destiny. So let's visualize a bigger space in our brain. Let's imagine that there's more room in our brains. And I'd like you to open up and release these useless thoughts. Breathe them out. If it takes words, say them, whatever it may be. Anything that's hurting you, anything that's bothering you, let's release it. And let's open up more space. So let's replace light in that space. Let's imagine that there's light filling your brain. And it's glowing light, it's peaceful, and it's calming. So let's breathe in fresh air, breathe out negative thoughts that you are carrying, anything that is not useful to you anymore. We're accepting light into our brains, and we're imagining the biggest hope that you have in this newfound space in your brain. For example, I would like, and you fill in that, I would like, and you're leaving it in your brain. So let's stay in this moment, and I will count backwards to 3. 3, 2, 1. Well, I hope that you found some kind of light during that experience, and it is a process. As we move through this is a process. This is a transition. You're transforming yourself to a multidimensional being of light. Light is on this earth right now, and it's taking over. Systems will die off. Old ways and habits will disappear. And let me remind you, we said personal power. Our personal power is very, very important. That we feel power within our being and our strengths. So I say to acknowledge your strengths. I say to have self-love, accept yourself for all of your characteristics. We all have yin and yang. We all have duality going on. It's about balance, creating balance within yourself, balance in your life. Be sure that you have relationships going on. If you don't have a relationship going on in some form, whether it's a friendship, a loved one, family members, it's unhealthy for you. You're too alone. It's important. We can't do this alone. We're here and we can't do this alone. So let's join together in unconditional love and support, acceptance, trust. Personal power is about trusting yourself. You know all the answers within you. You have the answers within you. They are in you. You just have to look and ask. So today, what did you feel? I'm going to go to my heart, you go to your heart, and you figure out whatever it is that's going on with you. How are you feeling? Do you have love in your heart? And then let me remind you about miracles. Miracles are supernatural events that occur that are related to God, an angelic being. And that's why I say bring angels into your space. Ask for angels. They're beings of light. In fine arts, they have halos and wings. Let's invite angels into our life because these are divine energies. Divine energies will bring miracles into our lives. Abundance, prosperity. Let's together guide ourselves to our destiny. And then traumatic imprints. So traumatic imprints happen because we store trauma within ourselves, emotionally, physically. So for example, if you have a traumatic event, it might bring some kind of physical ailment to your body. And it's imprinted in your body until you release it. I was someone who tended to stay away from low vibrational. Oh, I'm getting a little anxiety over saying this. I am someone who carried sadness and pain within my body instead of releasing it, because I just laid love on top of it. You have to deal with everything. You have to pull it all out of you. That's how you get personal power. You deal with all your issues and your traumas. Okay, so before we go, we're almost there. And I appreciate everyone joining us. Here's the rose quartz gemstone, which is universal love. And I am putting it on my heart, or my heart chakra, and my crown chakra, which is about the universe, connecting to the universe. Tomorrow I plan on talking about blocked chakras and clear chakras and the difference, because we don't want to have blocked chakras. So this rose quartz has healing properties, and you can place it in your home. When you receive these, you want to wash them off with warm water and put them out in the sun. So it restores trust and harmony in relationships, unconditional love, everything we've been speaking of. And it purifies and opens the heart to all levels to promote love, self-love, inner healing, feelings of peace, and it accelerates healing. So it's support for your psyche and allows you to let go of lost love. Let's embrace love. And, I heard it's much better to have had love than to not have any love. In others, I mean. And let's try to form healthy relationships with ourselves and with others, and accept. Be a source of love. Have those affirmations. And mantras. I'm strong, I'm courageous, I am brave. And let's remember, light on the horizon, good things are coming. A difficult situation will improve. And beyond the eye. I want to remind you that the Lionsgate Portal, which is on the 8th of August, will activate your DNA. It's a strong, powerful energy onto Gaia. So what does this mean exactly? The sun is returning home to Leo. The star Sirius rises into the sky with the earth. And everything's falling today. And to the alignment with the earth, and energy flowing between the physical and spiritual realms. It will bring abundance, harvest, fertility, love, prosperity, divine. The Lionsgate Portal on August 8th, and that's in a few days, DNA activations. Your DNA will activate when you have a spiritual awakening. When light comes into your being, you will close your eyes and you will see light within your eyes. You will have downloads of light codes. And when you have downloads of light codes, what happens? These are energetic patterns that are specific energetic frequencies that you are encoded with information from birth, from higher dimensional sources. And you want to, here we go. So here are some, and here's some, they might come in the form of this, some kind of visual that you see, like it looks like kind of scripty. You might see a light code might come in the form of a visual. You might get messages. You might see symbols. And this is information might come through in sacred geometry. So you might see all these different sacred geometry coming through. And you will also have these ascension symptoms, which they might be headaches, they might be ear ringing during the day. I was always getting ear ringing in the right side. Now it's coming in the left side. And you are activating your DNA. So information is coming and your truest self. There's no turning back. You can't stop it from happening. You might change your sleep patterns, your eating patterns. Your personality might shift. You might lose your cool more than normal. It might make you a little moody. And you will visit dark night of the soul, which does not happen in one night. And that is when you are forced to deal with all your issues. This is one of the reasons why I'm doing this, because I'm preparing everyone. This is preparation for what's about to happen. And as an intuitive, this is what I know I'm supposed to do, my mission. So I'm here to give support and love and wish you well and want good things for you. So I want to remind you tonight when you go to sleep, ask yourself to remember your dreams and be wary of any energies that are coming into your mind that aren't yours. That's mind control. It can come through a television, maybe in the news. It's frequencies, sometimes in music. It might come through a person, a being. When you're sleeping, like I experienced the other night, this negative energy came into my mind. If you have something come into your mind, you ask it to leave. I know that sounds unbelievable, but you ask it to leave. Ask a headache to leave. Say leave. Talk to yourself. Say leave. You can tell negative energies to leave your mind. Headaches to leave your mind. Do not accept unacceptable behavior. We are sacred beings of light. You are allowed to have decision making. If something doesn't feel good to you, then don't do it. If you're not interested in the ways of others, then don't do it. You don't have to. You can say no. You don't have to give permission. Well, I love you. I'm wishing you well. And I am reminding you on the 8th is the Lions Portal, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Please like and subscribe to my videos. I'm spinning light, and you're in the middle, and you're making a wish. Let's live in this moment. Let's be grateful and have gratitude. And we are blessed. Bye, everyone. Be well. I'll be back tomorrow at 11.